Hello there, Leah Wilson-Felis here for an hour-long full body flow. We'll be really focusing on anchoring the body today. So let's start by anchoring ourselves into your favorite seated position. Find your yoga mat, maybe a towel on the floor. You don't really need anything at all for yoga, but it's nice to have some props around. The yoga mat it serves as a place for you, a place for your body, but also kind of sticks you down to the ground. And then I'm sitting on a meditation cushion. Again, it's not something that's necessary, it's just something that I like to use. Over here I have a couple props. I have a yoga blanket. Any blanket will do. A yoga block. Again, it's not necessary. A phone book or a rolled up blanket will work, or a yoga strap. And a yoga strap, if you don't have a fancy yoga strap, is excuse me, a robe strap or a tube sock works really well, or just like a scarf also works. So we're going to find our way to a seated position. Any seated position works. So if you are dealing with any kind of discomfort in your legs in cross-legged seated pose or sukhasana, then go ahead and find your way to a different position. Legs out straight is perfect. Excuse me. So as we anchor down, begin to kind of just feel your sits bones on the ground. You might rock side to side and forward to back a little bit until you find that comfortable space. You don't want it to be too far forward or too far backward with your pelvis or your back. You just want to find somewhere in the middle, a balance point. And we'll begin by just kind of rolling out our shoulders. So let's squeeze the shoulders up towards our ears, roll the shoulders back together towards the spine, and then lower the shoulders down. Try that a couple times. Shoulders up, squeeze them back, draw them down. A couple more times, rolling through that motion. Maybe you're feeling some crunchies in your shoulders, in your neck. Go the other way too, so we'll go forward a couple times. Perfect. We'll bring ourselves back to center, and we're just going to rock our head from left to right, so that each ear is reaching towards its shoulder. So as you lean your head to the left ear drops towards the left shoulder, stretching the right side of the neck. Bring the head back up, try it on the other side, so the right ear drops towards the right shoulder, dropping the left shoulder down, stretching that left side of the neck. We'll bring ourselves back up, try it one more time on each side. I like to dip my head forward and backward there with each breath. That way I can feel some different fibers of muscle in my neck. One more time to the opposite side. And we'll bring our head, excuse me, back to center. So, drop your chin towards your chest. Draw your fingers out to either side of your body. All 10 fingers are grounded here. Let your elbows relax so that your shoulders are drawn away from the ears. We'll start to carve out our collarbones. So using your chin as your guide, you'll start to lean the right side, the right angle of your chin towards your right collarbone. And then lean your right ear to your right shoulder. Carve it back to center. So using your chin, draw down back to your sternum, and then lean the left side of your face, your chin, towards the left collarbone so that the left ear leans towards the left shoulder. And we'll go back to center. Try to remember to keep your shoulders lowered as you do this motion so that it's simply the head rolling from sternum through clavicle to the outer edge, the acromion, back through to center, back over to the other side so that your ear reaches for the acromion process, which is the top of your shoulder. Chin to chest. Sweep your arms out, sweep them up overhead, interlace your fingers, bringing your hands to the back of your head. Let your elbows come together, rounding through your neck, rounding through your upper back, rounding through your mid and lower back too, kind of curling into yourself like a nautilus shell. And while you're there, curled up like a little ball, seated, roll your ball to the right and roll the ball made by your back to the left, back and forth, so that you're kind of, again, just exploring through the spine, through the ribs, on the back side of your body. We'll come back to center. Push your head back into your hands. Open your elbows. Squeeze them wide. And start to lean to the right and lean to the left with a little bit of tension pulling you back, pulling your elbows open. And we'll start to release the hands down, dropping the fingertips to the earth. If you need to switch your legs, then do that here. You can straighten them out or just crisscross them the other way. We'll drop our right hand into the mat, left hand sweeps up towards the sky. Give into that right side body to stretch the left side. So we're working with anchors today. Make sure that your left sit bone is anchored down into the ground, and then we lift away from the anchor. So stay rooted. Inhale and fan your way back up to center. Let's try it on the other side. So drop your left hand into the mat. Bend your left elbow. Reach your right hand up. And again, the right sit bone is rooted here, and we want to reach up and away from that rooted, anchored sit bone. Take another breath. Reach with each inhale. Exhale and ground yourself through that anchored point. Inhale. Fan yourself back up to center. Again to the right, sweep that right hand out, start to give into that side body as the left side stays grounded. If you'd like to use some core strength here, build it. Try to lift your right hand like you're holding a beach ball over your head, leaning straight to the right side. One more deep breath, reach. Exhale, inhale up to center. Over to the left. Maybe the left hand holds you there. Maybe you're working with more of that core strength. Opening the arms like you're holding a beach ball. 2 more breaths to the left. Bring yourself back up, inhaling back to center. Reach the arms back down, grounding through all 10 fingers, through both sit bones. Start to extend your legs out long, reaching them out, lengthening your legs so that your feet are flexed. Maybe your heels gently start to lift off the floor. We don't want them to. That's just the motion that we're making. Take a big inhale, reach your arms out and up. You're anchored through your heels and through your sits bones. From here, drop your hands down to your shins. Down to your knees, slide them down, maybe towards your shins, maybe more towards your ankles. Take a breath here, nice straight spine, letting your shoulders drop down away from your ears. Maybe with this exhale you can slide an extra inch, an extra hair towards your ankles or your toes. Use a strap if you like, wrapping the strap around your feet and working your way down, but try to keep your spine straight here. Heels anchored, sits bones anchored. So you'll notice that we've always got something grounded, and then we want to create something that we call oppositional balance. So when we're grounded, we must also do the opposite, which is lift. Lift through the crown. Lift through the heart. One more breath. And let's start to slide up to the shins, slide up to the knees, slide up to the thighs. Bring your feet together, knees apart for Baddha Konasana. We're just going to feel that stretch in the inner thighs there. No forcing of anything. Start to lean to the left, lean to the right. Anchored through the tailbone, anchored through the sits bones. The ischial tuberosities anchored through the outer pinky edge of the feet, rocking side to side. just starting to explore through the groin, the hips, noticing if there's any sort of tension, discomfort there, if there's pain. You might support yourself by rolling up blankets or bringing blocks underneath your knees. Let's take a big inhale, anchored, rooted through the tail, reaching up with the head and the heart, shoulders relax down so that the neck is growing even longer. Start to reach your belly button or your heart towards your feet. For me, I only move about an inch. That's all I need to feel that little bit of discomfort in the inner thighs. And know that I can stay there and breathe through that tension without hurting myself so that I won't be so sore tomorrow. I won't feel that later. Alright, let's start to roll back up to seated. We're going to move the stretch. So just send your feet out so that they're about 2 feet away from your body. You still want the big toe mounds, so the balls of the feet here, you still want to smush them together. So if they're coming apart, then maybe move your feet back just a little bit. So from here, again, you might reach for your ankles or reach for the diamond shape in between your feet and your knees, and we'll start to bend through our elbows. Again, try to keep your back straight. And then if you want to go a little further, you can round your back, but it changes your stretch a lot. So see what allows you to feel more. Sitting up straight or rounding. It's your choice, so you must, just explore a little bit and see where it feels good, where it's a little bit too much, see what works for your body, if a little lean to the right or the left feels good. So much of yoga is about exploring what our body, what our capacity is, kind of finding the edges of our body and where we're holding tension and expanding those edges. And expansion, growth, doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it's a little uncomfortable, that change. Let's bring ourselves back up, kick your right leg out, bend your left knee. If your left knee doesn't like that, modify by supporting it with a block, sending it out to the side and focusing on the right leg. So right leg is straight. Take a big inhale, sweep up to the sky, straight back here. So again, your hands can come down, stacked on top of your knee. Slide down to your shin. Slide down to your ankle. Maybe you do have the ability to reach your foot. Maybe you'd like to use a strap, a yoga strap, by wrapping it around the bottom of your foot. So the choice is yours. There's lots of options. Try to keep your back straight. Try to lower your shoulders away from your ears. Keep breathing. Imagine those anchored points. So the tailbone, the right sit bone, the right heel, and then growing up, lifting up from that place. Beautiful. We're going to switch sides so that our legs don't get too tired, we don't overload the muscles. So kick your left leg out, bring your feet to hip distance apart here, and then bend your right knee. You're welcome to bring your foot to your inner thigh or around the knee joint, or send your right leg out if the knee isn't happy there. Take a big inhale, sweep up for the sky, lower the hands down out in front of you onto the shin, onto the knee, and start to roll forward. So we want to keep our back straight. We're just kind of sliding, rolling our hands down our shin towards our ankle. Maybe you can reach your foot. Maybe you use a strap here. So again, it's always going to be your choice, what feels best. The goal here is to root, anchor, and grow up, expand away from the root, lifting away. It's like a plant. The plant is rooted, and then it rises up, it grows up out of the soil towards the light. Great job. Bring yourself back up to center. We'll extend both legs out evenly here, hip distance apart. Again, you can always use that strap and kind of wrap it around the bottoms of the feet. I will demonstrate this posture without it, so those of you who don't have a strap, you can still do all this work. So let's sweep our arms out. This is kind of core strength. Think about everything pulling into the center. Arms reach up to the sky, overhead, And then the hands reach out and down in front of you to your knees. Slide your hands down to your shins, to your ankles. You might stop there. Maybe you continue a little further. Maybe you can reach for your big toes. Wherever you are, we have some really flexible yogis in the world, so some people can like wrap their hands around the bottom of their feet, and that's awesome. Great job if that's where you are. For now, I'm going to stop with my hands on my feet, but you might have your hands on your shins, and that's okay. With an inhale, reach your belly button towards your feet. With an exhale, round your back, look down. Inhale, reach your belly button forward, shoulders drop. Exhale, lower down. One more inhale, it's like cow pose. Exhale like cat pose. And bring yourself back up to center. All right, so from here, we're going to separate the feet wider. So if your mat is vertical and you're sitting on it long ways, just separate your feet off the edges or near the edges of your mat. You can also turn to the sides so that you're sitting lengthwise on the mat. It's up to you so that you're horizontal. You'll sit up nice and tall. For me to be able to do that, I take my hands tented, so just the fingertips on the floor, but behind my back. From there, I try to lengthen the elbows, drop the shoulders back, squeeze, lift through the heart, lift through the chin. Keep your heels anchored, your toes lifting like flowers, your knees lifting, your tailbone, your sits bones rooted. And from there are some people who need a little bit more. I'm good right here, but if you want a little bit more, bring your hands in front. Don't let yourself collapse into the pose. Stay nice and strong, nice and tall. Feel the stretch up the inner thighs. And again, if it's a little bit too much, you might just lift up a little taller so that you're not leaning forward so far, or add movement so that it's not so overwhelming for the nervous system. Rock a little bit with your upper body here, side to side. Two more breaths. Again, inhale, bring that energy, that oxygen in, lift up. Exhale, soften into the pose, straight spine, still active. Beautiful. Bring yourself back to center. If it's in your practice, crisscross your legs. Fingertips will ground out to the side. We'll take our left hand to our right knee. Right hand to the mat or the floor behind us. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale and add a twist. Inhale again, sit up even taller. Let your shoulders drop. Exhale and twist. Here is a lean with the twist, so grab on with your left hand to your right knee. Start to lean to the left so that your left shoulder is dropping towards your left thigh. This does work with straight legs as well. You just have to bend through that left elbow a little bit more. And then wherever you are, reach your right hand up to the ceiling or draw your right bicep, your upper arm, towards your ear. Now that range of motion isn't available for everybody's shoulder, so you just have to kind of sweep the arm and see where it feels good, where that right arm feels best. Stay anchored in the right tailbone. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Cross your right arm over top. We're coming for eagle arms. So arms lift up, you can bend your elbows so that the left elbow is holding your right elbow. You can stay right there. Perhaps the arms wrap around each other, and we're just going to start to explore through the shoulders there. So that means sweeping the elbows towards your chest, and then sweeping your elbows out towards the wall in front of you, and maybe even up towards the sky. Back down. Unwind your arms. We'll do this the other way. So right hand to the left thigh or left knee, left hand to the mat behind you. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, add a twist. Inhale, sit up tall again, let your shoulders drop. Exhale, add a twist. Now release the twist, but stay in that position, sweeping your left hand up to the sky. Hanging on with your right hand, lean your right shoulder towards your right knee and start to lift up with the left underarm. Find the right range of motion for that left arm. So sweep it back down, up towards the ceiling, over your head maybe. Maybe your left arm comes towards your ear. With an inhale, fan your way back up to center. Cross your left arm over top your right so that they're crossed in front of you. Bend through the elbows so that now the right elbow is being held or cradled by the left. No, I'm sorry. Right elbow is cradling the left. From there, we'll bring the backs of the hands together, perhaps even a full wrap around. That's not always there for everyone. And then wherever your capacity is, start to sweep the elbows out, fingertips lift up, draw the elbows back down towards the belly. We'll bring ourselves back to center, unwind the arms. Bring the hands back behind you. Bring the legs out in front of you so that the feet are flat, knees are bent. You always want your feet and knees at hip distance apart. So hip distance is typically about 3 to 6 inches, it just depends. But I often will use a block. So if you're not sure, maybe measure with a block and then try to keep your legs at that level. So we're going to add a big twist here. So we're going to sweep our left hand up to the sky and then start to bring it to the outside of the right thigh. So your arm might have to be straight. Some of you will be able to bend that elbow and hook the elbow on the outside of the right knee. So be careful here not to let that left knee drop out to the side like mine wants to. This is how we build strength, is not allowing our body to collapse. Push through the right hand, lift up through the chest. Exhale, add a twist. Look over your shoulder. Try it again. Other side, sweeping the left hand up and over behind you, supporting yourself. Right hand reaches up. Hook the outside of the arm on the outside of your left leg, your elbow, and then start to press. Lower your shoulders, sit up even higher. Make sure that right knee doesn't drop out. There's a lot to remember here. Keep breathing. One more breath. And we'll unwind, sweeping our right hand up, dropping it back behind us. Windshield wiper the legs, dropping them to the right and to the left, back and forth. All right. So we're anchored in the tailbone and in the soles of the feet, especially the heel, just rocking back and forth. All right, so from here, we're going to do just a tad of boat posture. So, grounding through the tailbone, feet are flat, hands reach forward. This is the beginner posture, so you're welcome to stay here with your feet flat. Some people will graduate to their toes touching. Some people will graduate to their feet lifting up off the ground. Be careful not to round your back. Try to keep it nice and straight. Think about your belly button reaching up for your knees. If you want to, you can straighten your legs. Beautiful. Sweep your hands up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, hands come back down parallel to the ceiling. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, drop them down. 3 more. Last one. Feet come down. Hands come to the heart. Let your knees come apart and draw your hands towards your feet, leaning forward. With those boat postures, we're really building up some strength and some heat in our core, but also in our hip flexors. So that's on top of your thighs. So that might be where you're feeling the majority of that strengthening. All right, let's try it again. Feet come down. Start to balance on that point. That's your anchor point. Remember, we're doing a boat pose. So think about the anchor dropping down through the tailbone. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Inhale, arms reach to the sky. Exhale, back to parallel. Couple more, 3 more, that'll be 5. You're welcome to pause at any time and do more. You're welcome to move along or pause, do less. Feet together, knees apart. Two more breaths, just grounding into that posture. Think about the aponic energy grounding down, the downward movement of energy into the floor, into the earth. All right, this last time I'm going to introduce something different. So I want you to bend your knees, and some people will come here to knees bent. Make sure you have lots of room overhead and underneath you. Some of you are going to be able to grab onto the backs of your ankles and lengthen your legs up. So, it's up to you. You can come here, you can come here. So, I'll do it with knees bent first. From here, your arms reach up, you're going to lengthen back and lay down. And then you have to pull your knees up, roll to that space, and curl up in your little ball. So you'll lengthen legs out, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, pull it all back together. Try it one more time like that. Nice. So that's 3 like that. We'll try the lengthened way, so the legs are up. They're already straight, so you just kind of lay back, lengthen your legs, lengthen your body, and then pull yourself back up. It's hard to find that balance point. So let's try it again. It's hard. I struggle with that one myself. But it's worth the challenge, worth getting a little bit of warmth in the body. Nice work. Let's come back to Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees apart, rolling forward. One more deep breath there. Roll yourself back up. We're going to find our way to hands and knees. So I always like to use a blanket here underneath my knees. Bring the hands down to the mat, the knees in alignment with the hips, hands in alignment with the shoulders. We'll do a quick cow pose, lifting the tailbone, reaching the heart forward with an inhale. With an exhale, round your back, look back at your thighs, shoulders come forward and up. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, round the back. One more. We'll come into cow, reaching the heart forward, palms pressing. Add a dog wag. Rock your hips to the left, look over your right shoulder. Rock your hips to the right, look over your left shoulder. So in cow pose. Then come back to neutral. So nice straight back, dog wags. Just 1 or 2. And then we'll come back to center, come into cat pose, round your back, and add the dog wag. I think that one's my favorite. All right, we'll come back to neutral. Reach your right toes up towards the ceiling. We're going to do 5 little kind of like push-ups here. So keep your elbows tucked back. Let them hit your ribs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice work. So we're going to extend that right leg out behind us. And then what we're going to do, I got to turn to the side, is we're going to kick our leg out to the side. So kick it out to the right, and then drop your foot down to the floor. So I'll show you the front aspect of that position. So your right foot is down on the floor with your body in a tabletop. So the rest of your body is just in tabletop with your right leg out to the side. We're going to roll forward, roll back. Keep your foot flat. You might be able to explore some sensation in that right ankle. Maybe you're feeling it more through your hips. Beautiful. Press up onto your left knee. Reach your arms out to the side. Start to slide your right hand out towards the right like it's on a tabletop, and then tilt over. Right hand is on the right shin or knee or thigh. Left hand reaches up to the sky. So you're anchored now through your right foot and your left knee, and the left hand is reaching up, away from the body. Inhale, bring yourself back up to center. Now we're going to do a fancy transition where we turn our right toes up and pull the foot and the knee back. We're going to be just moving into a half straddle, so lunging into the right knee, bringing it over top the ankle. So you want to make sure that you don't rise up on, you can, it kind of looks cool if you rise up onto your toes, but not if your knee is going past your ankle. We got to stay in a nice angle there, so if that's the case, you're really flexible, you might step your right foot out an extra inch. Find more space. Nice hip groin stretch there. Beautiful work. Take your left hand down to the floor. Use your right hand to sweep your right foot forward into a lunge. And then we'll sweep our arms out, up, and overhead. So I'm going to move back to the side angle. So we have our right foot forward, left foot back. Your left toes can stay rooted or your toes can ground. Inhale to lift. Exhale to root and lunge a little deeper. You're anchored through your right foot, your left knee. Inhale, lift away from the anchor. Exhale. One more. Hands come to the heart center. Tuck your back left toes. Lift your back left knee. Some of you will have to press onto that right knee for a little assist. I try to keep my hands lifted so that I just press really deeply into my right knee and lift off of my left. Beautiful. Sweep your arms out in front, up towards the sky. Open your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Lean forward. Allow your chest to make contact with your right thigh. Look down at your right big toe. And then inhale and sweep yourself back up. Exhale, coming back forward. Look at your right big toe. Inhale, press back up. Hands are going to open out to the side. Let your left hand come forward and your right hand reach back, coming into a twist. One more breath. Deepen it here by bending just gently through your back left knee, and that's going to scissor the hips, the pelvis back into alignment. Hands come through back to center. Out to the side, so now your right hand is reaching forward, left hand is reaching back, and allow your back left heel to pivot down. You're now in side angle warrior. Side warrior. Warrior 2, or Virabhadrasana 2 or B. Lots of different words for the same thing. I also have called it surfer pose. So you want to be surfing on your yoga mat, making sure that your right knee, again, does not pass your ankle. Make sure it stays nice and stacked. Beautiful work, everyone. Bend your right elbow, drop it to the top of your right knee, and sweep your left hand up to the sky. Maybe looking up at your left thumb. Inhale, reach up with your left hand, allow yourself to pull back to center, and we're going to move into a reverse warrior, reverse lunge, dropping your left hand down your left thigh, right hand sweeps up, sliding down, opening the chest, the right side of your chest there. Maybe you start to rotate your chest open. Make sure that your right knee commits to staying bent. Inhale, fan your way back to center. Go ahead and straighten your right leg. Let your arms just relax. Couple shoulder rolls. We'll end this side with a triangle position. Arms out to the side, but the legs stay just as they are. So if you're facing the camera, it'll be your right toes towards the top of your mat. The left toes to the long end of your mat. So that when you look down, your feet make a big L shape on the floor. Maybe your right heel is lined up with your left heel or your left instep. Make sure that your hips are not shifted to the right or especially to the left. They're nice and center in the middle. Arms reach out to the side. And again, we're going to slide the right hand on a table out to the side. Drop the right hand down to the right shin. Left hand reaches straight up to the sky. So you want one long line from your right fingertips to your left fingertips. The triangle is made with your right arm, your right thigh, and the right side of your chest. Sweep that right hand up, grab onto an invisible rope and pull yourself back up to center. Hands come to the sides, so to the hips. We're going to rotate to the right. Now my left knee doesn't really like that, so I have to kind of pivot up onto the toes. Bend through the right knee, bring the hands down. We're going to slide this right leg up into a tripod downward facing dog. So lifting the right leg up to the sky. Bend the knee, shake it out a little bit. Rotate the knee in and under. Open out to the right, in and under. Make circles. And then we'll drop to our right knee and our left knee and rest in child's pose. Let your belly rest on your thighs. Your forehead rest on the floor, on stacked palms, stacked fists, or a yoga block. Now we have to complete all of that on the other side. So let's make our way back up to tabletop. Arrange yourself there. We'll do a cow. Inhale, open your chest, shoulders back. Exhale for cat. Maybe one more, maybe two more, whatever you need there. Now we're going to be moving on to the full body strengthener. Lift your left leg up like active cow. 5 push-ups. So bend your elbows, bring your elbows to your chest and push back up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. Feel free to do more. Lengthen that leg up. Flex your foot, turn your foot, kick your foot out to the side, and drop your left foot down to the floor. You want to roll your entire foot down, so that way you're feeling that stretch on the outer ankle, left ankle. All right, so from here, we're going to just kind of keep our body in this tabletop position, so your hands are flat, the right knee is grounded, the right foot is flat. That's your anchor points, and we're going to rock back and forth. Interesting, on this side, I feel it more in my inner thigh, in my hip. Where on the left side, the other side, or I'm sorry, the right side, I felt it more in my right foot, my ankle, my peroneal muscles, my lower leg. So it just kind of shows that each side is so different. All right, let's pick ourselves up onto our right knee. Open the arms out to the side, preparing for gate pose. We want to slide our left hand out on a tabletop and then tilt over so that the left hand comes down to the left knee or the left shin. Right hand reaches up, maybe even over. 2 more breaths. Left inner thigh, right side body, feeling that stretch. And we'll inhale and bring ourselves back up, open to center. Turn your left toes up and then pull the knee and the foot back towards your body so that you're in a half straddle. It's kind of like a lunge except out to the side, but we are going to lunge here. So if you know you have very flexible ankles, you might walk your foot out just a little bit more. And then you can either kind of just rest the hands or work on core strength by balancing. And we're going to lunge into that left knee, that left thigh. Try not to let your knee drop forward. Try to keep the knee straight out towards the left. We don't want to damage the integrity of the inner knee, the strength of it. Beautiful work. Let's try backing up a little bit, maybe lengthening the leg, and we'll try it again. Our body remembers things better, our musculature, our muscle memory, it all remembers everything more when we practice things more often, when we do things again and again. So come on back to center. We're going to transition into the forward crescent lunge or Anjaneyasana. So you might just take your left leg and kind of lunge it forward. You might need some help with your left hand. All right. So, here with this pose, I'll turn back in my original position. So we have our left foot forward and our right knee grounded. Your right toes could stay tucked, that's up to you. We're going to push through our foot, the left foot and the right knee, sweeping the arms out, maybe up overhead. If that doesn't work for your shoulders, hands come to your heart center. Inhale, press through the anchors, lift up through the crown. Exhale, ground. Inhale, lifting up towards the light. Exhale, grounding. Balance, one more time. Hands come to heart center, maybe onto the top of the left knee. Tuck your right toes. Push through your right foot, your left foot, and your right knee to lift up. It's not always that easy, so don't worry about how it looks. Sweep your hands out, up, overhead, and we'll lunge a little deeper. Keep your hands up overhead, and we're going to try to lay the left side of the chest on top of this left thigh. So reach your hands forward to the top of your mat, over your head, down, looking down towards your left toe. Inhale, press, press, press through your left foot, coming back up to high lunge. Folding forward. It's a very humbling position because it really teaches you, that strength that is needed. Push through your left foot, come back up. Last time, folding over. That humble warrior, pressing back up. Now the arms are going to come out to the side. Reach your right hand forward and your left hand back for a twist in your lunge. Take another breath. Find your pose. We're moving next to side warrior, warrior 2. So hands come back to center. Sweep your right hand back and drop your right heel down to the floor. So that's the back angle of that position. I'm going to turn around so I can see the front. So now we want left toes turned forward. Right toes turn towards the long end of your mat. Just your left knee bends. I like to have my left heel lined up with my right instep, or my right heel. Arms are open out to the side, excuse me. And we're surfing on our yoga mat. I like to change the drishti, or the focal point, from the front middle finger to the back middle finger. Bend through the left elbow. Drop it down to the top of the left knee. Sweep your right hand straight up, or perhaps your right hand goes up and over your head towards the top of your mat. Don't forget to breathe in that pose. You can certainly let your left elbow slip off the front of your knee if you like. Inhale, bring that hand back up to the sky. Pull yourself back up to center, side warrior. Drop your right hand down to your back right leg. Bend through your left knee. Reach that left hand up to the sky. Maybe it curls back over your head. Reverse warrior. Make sure that that left knee really commits to being bent. Inhale, back to center. Go ahead and straighten the legs, relax the arms. Shoulder rolls. Go forwards, go backwards. We'll sweep our arms out to the sides. Keep the legs in this position. Remember not to rock the hips from right to left. Keep them right in the center. The left hand is going to slide on a table, sliding straight out. Then we tilt over so that the left hand gently rests on the left knee, thigh, or lower leg, opening the right hand towards the sky. I often in class will see people collapse in this pose to try to get to the floor. That's a different posture. We want to try to have an open chest, open face, looking up towards the right thumb. Again, the triangle is created in the left upper arm, the left side of the body, and the left thigh. Reach up for an invisible rope with your right hand. Grasp on tight. Push through your feet. Pull yourself up to center. Relax the arms. Beautiful work. We're going to kind of pivot down towards the floor. So rotate ahead. Bend through that front knee. That's your left knee. Pivot the right heel up. And we're going to sweep our left foot back and up into the air. Bend the left knee. Turn the knee out. Turn the knee under and in. Out and under. Pull it out. Lift it up. Draw circles with that left knee. And then drop the toes down to the floor. We're in downward facing dog. Push through your palms. Lift through your tailbone. Your knees do not have to be straight and your heels do not need to touch the floor. But I do like to see the shoulders on either side of your ears. So you want your shoulders by your ears in this position. Push through your feet, walk it out, press your left heel down, bend your right knee. Press your right heel down, bend your left knee. Drop down to hands and knees. Child's pose or extended puppy. So Balasana, child's pose, is belly resting on or through the thighs. Big toes touch, knees apart. Your forehead rests on the mat, on your palms stacked, on your fists stacked, or on a block. In puppy pose or Anahadasana, coming back to your tabletop, you'll walk your hands forward. Your hips stay stacked over top your knees as your heart melts towards the mat. Some people will land on their forehead. Some people try to land on their chin. Start to peel ourselves back up to center, walk our hands back underneath, coming into a bind. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, thread the needle underneath the left, bending into the left elbow. Inhale, reach it back up, open your chest. Exhale, thread the needle. One more time like that, hovering. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, thread the needle. This time you're going to land on your right shoulder, on the right side of your face. Your left hand can stay flat with your elbow bent. You could slide your left hand up overhead. You could also reach your left hand up to the sky. Or the bind comes in when you bend your elbow and place the back of your left hand on your low back. I prefer the second option or the first option, so it's really up to you what you prefer. We'll find our way there, and then make sure that both knees are anchored. You're not leaning more into the right knee and lifting the left. They're nice and grounded. The chest is where the spiral comes from. So it's not coming from your hips. It's coming from mid-back and ribs. When you're ready, draw your left hand back down to the mat right by your face. Do a half push-up, pressing back up to center, opening that right side of the body back up, and dropping the right hand back down. We're going to do it on the other side. Left hand reaches up to the sky. Press through the right palm. Exhale, bend through the right elbow, sliding the left arm underneath. We'll try it again. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, thread the needle and land on your left shoulder and on the left side of your face. Find a somewhat comfortable position there. All right. And then find the variation of your choice. So I always prefer to bring my right hand up overhead so that I can try to spiral and look underneath my right armpit. Some people will reach the right hand up to the sky or bind it to the low back. Wherever you are, where you want to be, ground through your knees. Make sure there's not more weight in the left knee, in the left hip. Slide your right hand back towards your face, but place it back down. Bring all the weight into your right hand for a moment to slide yourself open, reaching the left hand up to the sky. Inhale, and bring your hand back down. Cats and cows, dog wags. Tuck your toes, roll up to downward facing dog. Start to walk forward, perhaps over the blanket that you were using for your knees. Maybe you walk your hands back towards your feet. We end up in a forward fold. Peel yourself up halfway. Bring your hands to your shins. We want to resemble a figure 7. So your shoulders from the top of your head all the way down to your tailbone is straight. From there, the legs resemble the bottom part of the 7, where it kind of tilts inward just a little bit. One more breath. Lower yourself down, forward fold, bending your knees a lot. This really helps to open up the lower back and the sacrum when we bend our knees. Sweep our arms out, inhale, press through the feet, reach all the way up for the sky. Inhale, inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, drop your hands to your heart center. My head gets a little cut off there. So I'm going to tilt my camera up just a little bit for our sun salutations. There we go. All right. So come to the top of your yoga mat. Feet are separated at hip distance apart. Remember, it's like a yoga block between your thighs. Inhale, press your palms together. Exhale, bring your hands to the sides of your body. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up and overhead, reaching up tall. From the hips, fold forward. Hands come through the third eye, through the heart, down towards the floor. You can always use a block if your hands are not coming close to the floor. I like to use a block anyway. Bend through the knees. With an inhale, straighten just the right leg. The left knee stays bent. Exhale, bend both. Inhale, lengthening just the left leg. The right knee stays bent. Exhale, bend both. Relax. So think about inhaling with energy, right leg lengthens. Exhale for that grounding energy. Inhale, left leg lengthens, lifting energy. Exhale, grounding energy. One more on each side, right leg with an inhale. Exhale, bend both. Inhale, left. And exhale, bending both. We're going to inhale and lift halfway. That means the legs lengthen, the spine lengthens. The hands come back to the shins or the knees, fingertips on the floor or a block. So you want to create a figure 7. One more breath. Pull that belly button in. As you exhale, bend through the knees. Fingertips come down. Step one foot back and the other foot back for downward facing dog. And we'll just arrange ourselves there. We're going to go for more core and arm, full body strengthening. So look from your toes to your hands. Roll forward into plank position. Planks do not sag, they're nice and strong. Hips lift up. Think about belly button to the spine. Look back at your toes. Exhale, plank. Grounding through the palms, anchoring. Inhale, lifting through the hips, pushing through the hands, down dog. Exhale, plank, grounding. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, plank. Inhale, lift. Exhale, plank. Mountain climbers, 5 on each side, that's 10 total. Right knee to the right elbow, step it back. Left knee, left elbow, step it back, that's 1. Right knee, left knee, 2. Right knee, left knee, 3. Right knee, left knee, 4. One more. Beautiful. Drop to your knees. Lower to your belly. Beautiful. Set up here, so point your toes back, drop the tops of your feet into the mat. Squeeze your elbows into the side body, look forward, press your belly button down, squeeze the glutes. One more breath. Lower down. Push into your palms. Press into your knees. Round all the way up, almost like you're going into child's pose. Tuck your toes. Inhale, roll up to downward dog. Exhale to stretch. Look from your toes to your hands. Walk or step or hop forward towards the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Let your head just hang. Sweep your arms out ahead of you, up overhead, lifting you up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart center. 2 more breaths, grounding you, anchoring through the feet. Inhale, hands come together at heart center. Exhale, Tadasana, hands at the side. Inhale, sweeping your hands up overhead, lengthening up. Exhale, through the heart, through the third eye, to the floor, grounding, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Let's try that 2 more times. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Exhale to Uttanasana, forward fold. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Last time. Bend through those knees. Step the feet back, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg to the sky. As you roll forward into plank, draw your right knee towards your right elbow. Inhale, lift your right leg back up. Exhale, knee towards the elbow. Inhale, lift it back up. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift it back up. Last one. Drop your right toes to the floor. Right leg lifts up to the sky. As you roll forward into plank, bend your left knee, tap your left elbow with the left knee, lift it back up. Inhale, exhale to tap. Inhale to lift it up. Exhale to tap. Inhale to lift it up. Exhale, tap. 1 more. Lift it back up. Drop your left toes. Roll to plank. Drop to your knees or chaturanga, lowering to the floor. Heart lift. Sphinx, a gentle lift. Cobra, a little bit more pressure. Up dog. Inhale there. Exhale just to lower your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, lowering back down. Tuck your toes. Lift up to hands and knees. Round your back like you're going into a child's pose. Extended cat. Tuck those toes if they've come untucked. Press up into downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Look from your toes to your hands. Walk, step, or hop forward. Lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees a lot. Protect your back. Let your head go. Let your arms go. Let your head, your neck, your jaw just be loose. Connect the tip of your tongue right behind your teeth like you're about to say love or lengthen or leverage. Sweep your hands towards your feet out in front of you. Let them carry you to standing. Inhaling up, maybe a little miniature back bend. Exhale, heart to hands, hands to heart. Palms coming together. And we're going to start to lower ourselves towards the mat. Inhale, sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale, bend through the knees. Hips reach back, hands to the floor. Bend your knees like you're going to come into an invisible chair. Sweep your hands out ahead of you. Last posture. So we're sitting into an invisible chair, lifting the heart, sitting a little deeper. 1 more breath. Legs are shaking. Bend, bend, bend. Bring your hands to the floor. If you need to, you can bend deep, deep into the knees and find your way into a seat. If you need to get down a different way, then feel free to find your way. We're going to find our way onto our back. Hands come down towards the heels. Place the palms down on the yoga mat. Press into your feet. Raise up through your hips, activating the thighs. Bridge pose. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lifting through the hips. Exhale, lowering down. Last time. Rock the knees to the right. Rock the knees to the left. Window wiping the knees. Extend the right leg up to the sky. Drag it through the air, down off the lower right corner of your yoga mat. Kick your left leg up into the air. Drag it through the air, off of the lower left corner of your yoga mat. Wiggle your toes out and let them be completely heavy. So let your pinky edges of your feet drop down towards the mat, towards the floor. Let your arms follow suit in the same direction so that your right fingers are kind of reaching down past the right toes, left fingers reaching down past the left toes. Let your shoulders drop back into the yoga mat. Let your chin drop back into your throat, into your neck, into the yoga mat. Every inhale, feel your belly lift like a balloon filling up. Every exhale, feel the balloon collapse and kind of press back, compressing into the spine, into the floor. Inhale, lifting, filling up, energy. Breathing down and out, grounding. It's the aponic energy, the grounding energy. Breathing in, lifting up. Pranic energy. Breathing down, anchoring, rooting, grounding energy. Existing in both places at once. Grounded, anchored, lifted with energy. Notice where the mind has wandered. Don't worry about anything, about guilt or shame or judgment of yourself or letting your mind go somewhere else. The mind is meant to think, it's meant to wander. Bring it gently back to breathing in and filling up with energy. Breathing out, grounding, anchoring, sinking. Breathing in, lifting. Breathing out and grounding. Begin to flex your toes and point your toes. Flex and point. Roll your ankles in and out, and do the same with your hands. Make fists, spread your fingers, roll out the wrists, both directions. Begin to sweep your hands up overhead, zip your legs together, point your toes, reach with your hands, arc your low back, stretch, and relax. You're welcome to roll to a side if you'd like. You're welcome to stay on your back if you'd like. You're welcome to take a nap. You're welcome to roll up to a seat. So find your way, whichever path is right for you. Finding your way to a seat. If you have a wall behind you, you might be able to support yourself by sitting up against that wall. Maybe using cushions underneath your hips or your legs if needed. It's a perfect time for a meditation, so if you'd like, you can pause the video or close it down so that you can continue this state of mind and just sit and notice what you feel. Notice any areas that may need a little bit more attention, physical areas of your body. Areas in your life where you might be able to feel lighter. You might be able to work the tension out in different areas of your life, not just physically. So ask yourself, what do you need to let go of to feel lighter? Great journaling prompt. And just tuning in for a moment and asking yourself how you feel physically and otherwise. I hope that it is better. I hope that you feel better throughout your entire body, throughout your mind. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining me for this yoga video. I bow to you. Thank you so much for joining me. I bow to the light inside of you, the same light, the beam of light inside of me, and the same beam of light that pervades the entire universe. When we acknowledge that light inside of each one of us, we also recognize that we are one. We are all connected, each one of us. Thank you so much. I bow to you. Namaste.